Senator Hannigan.
Thank you, Arthur Hirley. We've had much discussion in the House about the operation of the HSE, and I think there's general agreement that it's an organisation that's not working. And the latest debacle in the North East is just another example of an organisation that's in crisis. But rather than just wringing our hands about it, which some members of this House seem to be doing, my party is proposing some improvements. And today we launched a 6-point plan in how we think the HSE can be improved. It looks at things like reducing bureaucracy, promoting accountability, and also putting the patient first. I think it's a very constructive plan. I think it's a very reasonable plan, and I encourage members of the House to have a look at it and perhaps take some of the stuff that we propose on board. As well as that, I'd also like to bring up the subject of language. Last week, we complimented the House on the provision of French classes and Irish classes for members. I wonder if the leader could use his good offices to look into whether it would be possible to arrange classes in plain speaking. Because although we've got a Taoiseach who can speak 3 languages, Irish, English and a language that frankly I'm not very familiar with myself, we've got a Taoiseach who seems to think, that when she mentions 2 commissioners, she actually really means 1 commissioner, and backed up by a cast who think that it's okay to say one thing in the House on cancer services, but they go outside the front gate and say something completely different. And in this chamber as well, we suffer from a lack of plain speaking. We've heard that people are calling for debates from the government side on Waterford to Crystal, and yet we haven't had those debates. And we see yesterday that some members of the government parties are at odds when it comes to whether or not we have a veto on the World Trade Organisations. And on a weekly basis, we've got members of the government parties saying that it's time to reform the HSE. They've got the power to do it, and they're doing nothing about it. So it's time that we had a bit more plain speaking from the government side of the House. As somebody repeatedly said in the other place yesterday, you can't have it both ways. So I'd like to see a debate on the use of plain speaking in the House. Gurr Morgan.